the default mode network, which is generally active when we are mind wandering, which we think is really important when we're predicting what is going to happen to us. Less integrated, that the different parts of the network are talking to one another much less while you're meditating. The other thing that we find really interesting is that we see lower connectivity between parts of the brain that are more cognitive, that are in the frontal part of the brain, and areas that are in the back and the bottom part in the cerebellum, which are usually making predictions. We find that this technique of meditation allows us to turn off the part of the brain that is making these predictions about the future. And the general idea, the general scientific consensus is that we don't really experience reality as it is with our senses, but we rather predict it. The brain uses our senses in order to just correct the prediction. And what we're seeing is that this technique of meditation breaks that down. It breaks down the networks and the parts of the brain that are generating those predictions. Another thing that we found really interesting and unique about this type of meditation is that generally when the brain is in a normal state that is not meditating, it operates by splitting itself into modules, like neighborhoods. But between neighborhoods, we don't see that they're talking to each other a lot, except with very few connections. And we saw that when people started meditating, all parts of the brain started to become more directly connected with every other part of the brain. And what we found to be particularly surprising was that this not only occurred when people started meditating, it also happened after going through the retreat when people were not meditating.